Well, for instance, Kim Kardashian. I'm so sick of hearing Kim. And now she's, she's supporting this I don't know if you caught that whole
I
weird.
just heard about that.
Oh my God, Balenciaga. And they're using these kids in bondage and things. I'm like, oh my God. So I spoke about it on the news. I'm like, this is crazy. She's endorsed it. Her and some other celebrities. I'm like, how? Why? And you have kids. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
It's insanity. So I'm not, and their attitudes are just not right. They're not nice people. So, fame doesn't breed niceness. It usually, in that society, that's why I live where I live. I live away from it. I live in a very humbled community. I live very humbly. I just don't believe in having a nasty attitude or thinking you're better, that's because we've been on TV. I'm better than you. No, that's some BS right there.
Listen to the vibes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. And I'm very privileged to have Miss Patricia Summerland here. Y'all might also know her from her days in G.L.O.W. And she was Sunny the California Girl. She's a radio host, an author now, and you do everything. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I will. Thank you for that great introduction, Kyle. That's awesome. Besides my love for rock and roll, right? So I'm on a radio show I do on Sundays called American Adversaries. I've been a host with him for 12 years. I have my regular sports show. Yes, sports. I know, for a girl. Yep, I do sports. So it is called Mouthing Off on Sirius XM radio. We're on, actually, I don't know how many stations, 293 stations,
Wow.
Military arms, armed force radio, all those stations. So I can't even tell you. We're all over. Myself with Eddie Mansfield, who's another, Eddie Mansfield, another ex-pro wrestler back in the day, the Continental Lover. He is the host, and I am the co-host on Mouthing Off. So I do that every Tuesday, and then that gets played on Saturdays on your nearest local station. So if you look up Mouthing Off all over the world, it's we're definitely mouthing off, that's for sure. We don't shut up on there. It's pretty cool. We've got some great rock and roll on the show in between, so that's what I like about it too. You got to have that with sports, right?
Oh, of course.
Right, goes hand in hand. So yeah, I really enjoy it. The other one's a political. I do the local late breaking news here in California, so I cover that on Sundays. Yeah, so and I love it.
And we're both big Kiss fans.
Yes, of course. And if you don't like Kiss, sorry, that's your fault. Because they are the best. Kiss forever.
I know, that's right.
Kiss Nation. That's right.
When I was a kid, I used to sneak out of the house and go around the corner to the drive-in store. And I think they were like 20 something cents a piece, but I would get the little bubblegum cards of Kiss, and then I would sneak them back to the house, and I finally collected enough where I could make the big picture on the back and everything. And I thought I had them hidden pretty good, but my mom found them, and she went ballistic. She threw them in the trash. Kiss is the devil.
That's right. I know. My parents would not let me listen to them or watch them either. Like, they're monsters. That's the devil. Look at them with that makeup, blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't allowed until later. Well, actually in the early 90s is when I got familiar with them. And I was blessed to go to their Psycho Circus concerts and be a part of their Psycho Circus, which was amazing. That was so cool. And then, of course, my Playboy issue, 1999, I was Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley because they go by the face. So you get that. I wasn't Jean, so I got the sexy one, Paul Stanley. I was so thankful. I'm like, yay, I got Paul. So, and so we had the original makeup artist that did their makeup back then, which was Spiro is his name. did their makeup. A lot of times they do their own makeup too, by the way. They sit there and they're able to do their own. But for our shoots, we had some Playboy makeup artists and we had Spiro there, the original. And so he did our makeup and it was pretty cool. And I had Ace Frehley as well. I got to be the moon man, the spaceman. So, and that's just
awesome.
because one of the girls called out sick. So I casted the issue with Tommy Thayer. Him and I were in there. There was like 350 playmates that
Mhm.
wanted to get in this issue. So that was pretty, I was like, whoa. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. There's 5 of us in each setup. So what is that? 20 girls made it. And then in the pull out, the middle section, which we are in the centerfold, there's all of us playmates. And we're all in our glory with our Kiss makeup and Kiss outfits. So it's all rock and roll garb. It's so cool. If you like rock and roll, you got to get that issue. I recommend it. And I'll show you real quick because it's got great articles. No pun intended, guys, but it does. See, it's got Lauryn Hill. Oh my God, it's got a Drew Carey, a great issue on Drew Carey, a great story, I should say. And then Beastie Boys, which are also friends of mine.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah. So Karen, I used to model with Karen, Mikey's wife, and she's the manager of the Beastie Boys. Yeah. Back in the day, she wasn't married yet, I don't believe. And then let's see, we've got all sorts of issues. I mean, all sorts of stories. Irresistible Keith Olbermann, I don't know about that, but seductive Rudolph Giuliani, you know, but you got to check it out. Rock and roll right here. The best issue of Playboy is this issue of rock and roll with the guys and Gene Simmons on the cover.
That's right.
We got Gene. Yeah.
And
that was historic for that.
I'm not a fan of Keith Olbermann, by the way.
I know. It's like, Keith, I know. I'm like, interesting, irresistible Keith. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Until you actually see him and hear his voice.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Now, you've had a pretty good career, but you had some health problems come up. Are you comfortable talking about that?
Sure. Last year was like talk about PTSD, which I hate to bring that up, but it happens when you think everything is okay and you send in this little test kit. It's called not wanting to get a colonoscopy. You choose to get that little box kit the doctor sends out, and I actually sent that in, and I knew I had some blood issues, and I wasn't really thinking it was anything because everyone's like, oh, it's nothing, it's, you know, whatever, hemorrhoids or whatever it was. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be fine because I feel fine. I didn't know anything would happen. It came back positive. So I went in for an actual colonoscopy, and that's when they found a huge tumor that was laying flat in between the rectum and colon. So it was colon cancer, and they gave me 5 years to live last year. The doctor had called me and said, yeah, we need to get you in. We need to get you, you know, in surgery ASAP. So I went into surgery. They got the tumor. They had to remove half of my colon and half rectum, which changed my whole life, my whole eating, my whole dynamics just changed. My whole, you know, first of all, when you're told you have cancer, you're like, did I just hear that right? That it just changes everything in your life. You're like, okay. And when they say you're not going to live, you're going to die, it kind of, I had no words. Because I'm tough. I was a wrestler. I'm like, I got this. I go in to see my surgeon, and I was even telling jokes with him, right? I was in there sitting, and he's like, can you not be so funny because this is a serious thing? And I said, well, it's just my way of handling it, right? So he hands me a box of tissue, and he goes, here, because you're going to need this. You're not going to be laughing. And I said, okay. And he's just doing his job. I get it. Because they have to tell you straight up, this is the way it's going to be. You know, this is what you're going to go through. And I can't tell you anything but, you know, and that's when he said, well, you got 5 years to live. We'll see after surgery what happens. I can't say anything till after surgery. So I was fortunate. What I mean fortunate is it didn't invade my lymph nodes. If it would have invaded my lymph nodes and the blood vessels, I would have been doomed. So I was fortunate, by the grace of God, I dodged a bullet. last year. Same thing with, I had implants in, and I had lymphoma in my implants. And when they took them out, it went out with it. So I'm in a lawsuit, by the way, with that, with Allergan for that. So that was another. So in 2020, I started major surgery, removed implants, did an in-block capsulectomy. For all women out there who have implants in, I recommend getting them out. Myself and many other playmates speak about this. You know, it's very bad. It's just unhealthy. They're not healthy. They're not good for you. Mine were recalled. And I wasn't aware they were recalled. So that was another one. But so 2020, 2021, all this through COVID time, mind you. So I had all this alone because they weren't, no family could come in. And yeah, it was pretty life-changing. So today, people ask me, how am I doing? Well, when you have cancer and you're still at a stage, I'm stage 1A. 1A is like, you're in remission, but it could come back. So I take that serious. I go for my scans every 3 months. My CEA, which is blood test, it covers pancreas, liver, and colon. That's the CEA blood. Because colon cancer likes to attach itself to the lung and liver. So now I'm going in for my lungs because I have spots on my lungs and they have to watch that. So we just hope that it's benign still. If it's not, then I have a battle, you know, but I'm ready. I can face it. I stay optimistic. I help others in colon cancer group. I'm an advocate in that group. And there's so many people that we're losing, younger people, 19, 20-year-olds. So I can only recommend get a colonoscopy. Don't wait till you're like 50. You know what I mean? Don't wait. The recommendation is over 45. Do it way before, because it can save your life. There's so many people that are passing away with cancer and many cancers, but colon cancer seems to be very high rate right now. So, and that's because of sodas, all the preservatives and crap that's in our foods that we were raised with, that we eat. And I don't drink soda. Ironically, I was healthy. It's my dog. Ironically, a lot of people don't realize that everything we eat has preservatives unless you're going 100% plant-based and all that. Well, you know, yeah, you just have to watch it and eat healthy and try to eat as clean as possible. I cheat. I have a sweet tooth. I love my sweets all day long. I'm terrible with it, but I don't drink sodas. So when I went in, I was like pretty much really healthy and I worked out and I just couldn't understand why I got colon cancer. I'm like, wait a minute. My dad had colon cancer. He died of brain cancer, but there was no connection there, which was really weird because I did the genetic testing and they said, no, it wasn't from your father. So I'm like, oh God, great. Yeah. So no stress, keep stress away, whatever you do, no stress, you know? And then my mother was a diabetic, a severe diabetic. So I watched my mother ever since I was little, give herself shots 3 times a day. That was the old school shots with the insulin, you know, and I lost my mother in 2014. So I kind of watch my sugar intake now a great deal. Yeah. Listen to your body. In other words, you know, be aware, body aware will save your life. And, and with cancer's sneaky. It's a silent killer, you know, because I have that tumor probably, the doctor couldn't tell me, but I probably have 8 years.
Wow.
I had no idea. No idea. I had a slow moving cancer. So there's different variables. There's like so many cancers right now. It's ridiculous. But squamous cell is probably the most dangerous, fast moving. I had adenocarcinoma. So adenocarcinoma is a slower traveling cancer. Thankfully. But yeah, you got to be aware and for sure. And if anything, you know, if I can help someone, reach out to me on the colon cancer group on Facebook. There's so many that I belong to, so you'll find me in there. And I try to help as many people as I can. And as far as the breast implant illness group, I'm also in that. So the breast implant illness group is run by Nicole. She started it, but there's, I don't know how many women, 2 million, 3 million is in the group. It's ridiculous amounts of women now. And we've lost them to that too, from breast implants, from the cancer starting through the implants. And it doesn't matter whether it's saline, mine were saline, or if it's the silicone. It can be either way. It can be in the implant itself. It doesn't matter what it's,
Wow.
in, what if it's saline or silicone. So yeah, I just recommend getting them out. And that was the best thing I did. I didn't want anything else. I didn't want to uplift. Nope, doc, just get them out. I want to live. That's all I care about. It was the most stupidest thing I ever did, but that's showbiz. The ego
Yeah.
feeds so much. Like you have to be perfect. And I was a model for, I still do some, here and there, but like, I don't know, 35 years. So it was in my head, I had to be this perfect, because I was a swimmer model. So everything had to be perfect. And then when I did Playboy, I went to my husband. I said, well, since I breastfed and I did this, and I was already big, I didn't need implants. I wasn't flat chested. Trust me, I was already fine. My husband thought I was nuts. He goes, you're nuts. You're not doing this. I went to my best friend and had him take me. My husband would, it almost caused us to get a divorce. Just
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it was the most stupidest thing I ever did. And now, thankfully I'm here, and I should have listened to him. So girls, listen to your boyfriends or husbands, unless they want you to get implants. If they want you to get implants, don't do it. That means he's not accepting you for you and who you are. Be beautiful. We're all beautiful, in and out. If you're beautiful inwards, it breeds outwards. So,
Yes. I
that's
totally
the main
agree.
thing. Yep.
It's funny how if somebody is a good looking person and then they're just a total jerk, a total ass,
A total asshole, then they're not good. Yeah.
It's hard to look at them as being beautiful because of the way they are in the inside.
That's right. Well, for instance, Kim Kardashian. I'm so sick of hearing Kim. And now she's, she's supporting this I don't know if you caught that whole weird.
I just heard about that.
Oh my God. Balenciaga. And they're using these kids in bondage and things. I'm like, oh my God. So I spoke about it on the news. I'm like, this is crazy. She's endorsed it. Her and some other celebrities. I'm like, how? Why? And you have kids. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
It's insanity. So I'm not, and their attitudes are just not right. They're not nice people. So, fame doesn't breed niceness. It usually, in that society, that's why I live where I live. I live away from it. I live in a very humbled community. I live very humbly. I just don't believe in having a nasty attitude or thinking you're better, that's because we've been on TV. I'm better than you. No, that's some BS right there. And that's sad. A lot of these stars that are coming up are like that now. And it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. We need love, not hate in this world.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's so, all they want to push is hate.
Yeah.
Division.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So anybody, love, not hate. Let's stop this stuff. Don't talk about politics. If it breeds fights, don't do it. Leave it out. Leave things that cause confrontation. You can do so many other things and talk about so many other things than that. Just smile. A simple smile does it, for most people, or a hug. And that's what I stand by. A sunny smile a day keeps the negativity away. So that's right.
So what would you say attributes to your positivity?
My love for life, my love for my children, my love for my family, my love for my pets, just getting up in the morning and saying I'm alive. That right there is giving thanks, to my spiritual being. And I believe in God. That's my faith. So yeah, why not? It could always be worse. It could always be worse. So always, have a positive outlook, because I'm here to share that positive with the next person. If it helps, just 1 out of 1,000, I'm doing something right, So yeah, absolutely. I'm thankful. I have beautiful girls and they have beautiful hearts. I have 2 beautiful grandsons. I can't ask for anything more. They keep me going. That's what keeps me going. Yeah. And my pets. I love pets, fur babies like Roxy. I have my 2 cats. We have 2 dogs here. they, oh my gosh, just to see them and cuddling. I love my fur babies. You know, I love them. I cuddle with them. Who needs a man? You got a cat. No, you got a dog. You know, I take out my own trash.
I'm the cat magnet at our house. As soon as I lay down in my chair, they're plopped right on
Oh.
top of me.
Yeah, they're lap kitties. What kind of cats do you have?
I have a tortie.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I mean, they're a mixed breed, but there's a gray and white, and then there's one that's solid gray, which is the sister to that
Nice.
one. And then my wife's cat, it's pure white,
Mhm.
and she has one blue eye and one green eye.
Oh, wow.
It's
Oh,
most,
now that must be
yeah,
beautiful. Oh, you have to
she's
send me a
beautiful.
picture.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's we have a tuxedo and a huge Maine Coon. You know, the big whopping
Yes.
Maine Coons. Oh my God. He's huge. Mr. Bentley. Yeah. But we love him. Then we have a bull mastiff lab, and Beretta is a Shar-Pei. Yeah. A champion mini Shar-Pei. Yeah. So
You're gonna start your own pound over there?
I know we could. If I could save them all. It's heartbreaking how many, you know, of our pets get turned away and they're in the shelters, and they, you know, I don't even want to think about it. It's horrific. So yeah, if you can save a pet out there, please
I
go to
agree.
Rock and Rescue, yeah, you know, all the rescues wherever, and adopt a pet. You know, same thing with the child. Adopt a child. If you can't have children, go get a child, because there's so many in foster care as well. And I was brought up that way. So I was brought up with my great aunt. Yeah. So
Oh.
that's another long story, which will go in the book.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah. But
Well,
I'm thankful to be here and to be a good parent. So, you know, you can call family, but sometimes your family's not your family. That makes sense. You can make a better family out of your friends or your upbringing. You know, my father who raised me there was no blood related there, and he was the best father I could ever have. So yeah, that's why I'm thankful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know what? I always say that gratitude changes your attitude.
Absolutely. That's it. That's a great saying. And also, if you get a chance, I'm going to bring this up too. Get one of these. This will give us a little the G.L.O.W history of G.L.O W, as you know. Yeah. So this is one of my comic books. I'm featured in Encyclopedia too. I don't have it in front of me. I have a hard copy like this and or a soft copy like this and a hard copy with Rocky Johnson and Jack Hager is in the book too. So it's all three of our stories in one. So they call it the encyclopedia, and it's pretty cool because Dwayne Johnson has a little thing in there as well. So got to check it out. Now I sell them. I sign my autograph and sell them. And yeah, and Rocky's passed on, you know, so it's really, Rocky Johnson was amazing, such a sweet guy, and he's in that and his story's in it. So it's really important to get that out and be heard, you know, as well. And let's mention Matilda up in heaven, Mountain Fiji. We have so many we've lost. Matilda recently, Angel we lost. You know, a lot of G.L.O.W girls are, and some we don't know. We haven't found them. So they're out in the world and hopefully they're thriving, you know, but a lot of us are, yeah, we're all getting older. But stay tuned for more of us afterglow stuff. You know, we're going to be out there. I'm just saying there's some things happening. Yeah, some exciting things. So, you know, for us original G.L.O.W girls.
Do you ever get asked if you're going into your second childhood?
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I always tell people I haven't finished the first one yet.
That's it. That's right. We're always young at heart, forever young. That's one of my favorite songs. I played every morning on my Alexa, by the way. Yeah. There's a good one with Beyonce. There's a remix, Forever Young, that she does. I love it. Yeah. So I listen to that. That's my inspiration in the morning. And of course, Alexa plays the history. You know, she has to give me the news and then the history. And I'm like, okay, got it. Thank you, Alexa. So, yeah. And then
Okay.
I've got to go visit the Kiss guys again, you know, and reach out to me. I have plenty of Playboys. I sign, you know, for
Mhm.
you, personally signed, whatever you want on it. So I have that. I have t-shirts, my Get Up and Glow Sunny shirts. I'm getting more made off, different shirts, black. I'm going to go with a little rock and rollish this time. Very cool. Yeah,
Right.
I've got something planned there. What else? I don't know. You know, we've got Barbie dolls and my Barbie dolls and stuff out. So yeah,
Wow. You really
yeah,
got your hand in a lot of stuff there.
yes. Got to be busy. You have to, right?
Yeah. As soon as you
Got
slow
to keep
down,
going.
it's over.
Yep. And
Mhm.
I also box. I do my with my supernatural family, and that I've got to get back into it because of COVID. I was out. So today I'm actually going to do 30 minutes of boxing, and I love it. That's with the Oculus, the metaverse. So that's pretty cool. We're going strong in that too. I don't know how many. A million, maybe 2 million in that. Yeah, all over the world.
Wow.
So you box, you do flow, you know, which I love. It's good, and you can do it right here in the privacy of your home. Just put that Oculus on. It's a challenge. It's on. So I recommend it. Yeah.
What got you into being such an athlete?
I was a track runner since I was little. I
Mhm.
love to run. So in elementary school, I competed. I competed in high school and so on and so forth against the girls and then the men. And I outran them all. I had many awards in track and field before I got into wrestling. Yeah.
Well, you just
Wrestling was hard because wrestling is not running. And here I am 5'10", right? I'm all legs. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to do handstands now in wrestling. I got to be upside down a lot. This is so weird. I was so awkward at it. Oh my God. I think that's why Matt made me, honestly, the dingy blonde. He's like, I'm going to just make her do that. She's going to lose because she can't get her legs straight up in the air. So, you know, who knows?
well, why wrestling?
My father, he was
Oh.
so my father and my brother used to take the wrestlers. My father was a security before he became an officer,
Mhm.
Glendale police officer. So he was a security guard, and he would take the wrestlers back in the 60s, late 60s, the Olympic Auditorium, early 70s, to the hotels back and forth. So he became friends with Mr. Moto, all those guys, Freddie Blassie, the Destroyer. And I'm there up front with my family watching it every weekend. We'd go right live to the matches. And I was like 5 years old going, what the heck, watching these crazy matches. Blood everywhere. At least I thought it was blood. So I think some of it was real blood. Yes. So it was pretty scary because they gagged themselves back then. So that was real blood. But Freddie Blassie scared the heck out of me with his cane. I'm like, oh my God. And he'd come out in the cage match. So we'd watch that. And then my mother loved roller derby. So we'd go to the roller derby. So it was Friday and Saturday was our outings. And I loved it. So one day G.L.O.W was on television and there's my dad watching G.L.O.W. And he's like, you should do this. And I'm like, you're crazy, right? I go, Dad, I can't do that. These women are killing each other in the ring. I don't want to do that. I'm a model. I walk the runway. I do print modeling. I don't do this. So he made me, well, he didn't make me. He just like had to tell me, and I would do anything for my dad because, like I said, he was the best father. I said, sure, I'll send. He goes, send in your headshot. They're looking for new girls. So I did, not thinking I'd get picked, right? I'd get chosen. So I got chosen to go to the tryouts, and then the rest is history. That's how I got into G.L.O.W. Yeah, and it wasn't easy. That was not easy. Military training we had to do, and I'm like, oh my God, do a military push-up? I don't know how to do a military push-up. I know how to run. Just make me run. Can I just run and do laps here? And Matt goes, no, you're going to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh my God. So we had to go through military training. And then as you're going through the training, they pick your character. They watch you and they analyze you. So that's how I got Sonny. I reminded the director of his then deceased wife, which was Jane Mansfield. So he says, you just look like Jane Mansfield. And I have pictures where we're double, just incredible. I go, I look like a sex symbol? Okay, fine. Yeah, whatever. He goes, yeah, you've got the blonde hair, you're tan. We're going to make you Sunny, the California girl, the blonde bimbo bombshell that comes out. And that's how Sunny was created. And I sang. So he gave me knock knock jokes to sing because I used to sing. I love singing. And so that was, I go, I have to sing knock jokes? You're kidding. He goes, yeah, we're going to give you corny knock jokes. You're going to sing them. And that would piss off my opponent, right? Like I had one for Corporal Kelly, Bob Hope. It was like, hey, I've got a knock joke for you, everyone. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Tanks.
Tanks who?
Tanks for the memories. It's great to be on the scene to beat the big Marine. And Corporal Kelly would come after me because now she's mad, right? And that would start the match.
Oh no.
So that I know. So I had those jokes to sing in the ring. Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It was really good. But I left towards season 4. I was season 3 and season 4. My father became ill and he passed away. In fact, the bag behind his heart collapsed from being overworked. So he was waiting for a heart donor to get a new heart. And while he was in there, my father smoked Camels like they did back then, right? So one of the specialists went in there and they took a probe down, and there was a little tiny spot on his lung, and that's what spread and killed my father. It was lung cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Ultimately. So he never got his heart, and he died within 5 days. So I was called out of the ring during a match, and I went down to St. Mary's Hospital in Long Beach, and I sat there with my mom in the room, my dad. Yep. And then when I returned to be on G.L.O.W, it was over. I'm like, what happened? Where did G.L.O.W go? Yeah. So that was a sad time, but we speak about it, our stories. That's part of my story in there. It's in my comic book, and me being a brawler, because I used to beat up bullies. I hate bullies. That's another thing. People, don't be a bully out there. Be nice. No bullying. Yeah.
That's right.
I had a brother that was 5 years older than me. And he was my favorite brother. I was raised with him. My other brother was in Vietnam, so I didn't see Tommy too much, but they used to pick on my brother because he had a hip displacement. His foot went out this way. And so he'd walk to school. People were just mean. And then they would start targeting him, and I would start fighting with them, like, leave my brother alone. Because my brother was so quiet. He was a book worm. Like, he was very smart. He's never had no mean bone in his body, like wouldn't say anything. He just took the abuse and took the abuse. Finally, I said, I'm done. I can't stand as a little sister to hear this. So I'd start fighting everybody that picked on my brother. I'd meet people at the end of the corner. Let's fight. It's on. How dare you? How dare you pick on my brother, right? That's what so that was me. So it's in my comic book, and you'll see that if you get it, you'll understand that Sonny may have lost in the ring, but I didn't lose in real life. My passion is I will kick your butt if you're an ass. Basically. So don't be a bully. Yeah.
I started getting bullied when I was in high school, and it was before I actually had my real growth spurt. This kid picked on me so much and so badly. I'll tell one of the worst things that he did to embarrass me is we bought these cups from some school. I don't know what how they always selling stuff,
right?
So I bought this cup, and it had my football team on it, and it was sitting on my desk. And this guy just gets up and he says, "Hey, can I see the cup?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he just blows his nose into it.
Oh
and
my God.
I'm so embarrassed at this point, and all I wanted to do was just, cower down and slither away. And it got so bad that I would miss a lot of school. I would, always tell my mom I'm sick, I can't go to school today, and tried to end myself a few times. And
Oh no.
anyway, I went home after that semester, and when I got home, I was thinking, I'm not going to let this happen to me again next year. So I worked for my dad. My dad had an air conditioning business, and so you pick up some of that stuff's really heavy, but I was always picking it up. Even when we didn't have to put it in place, I was picking it up, trying to get myself kind of built up. And I hit a growth spurt during that summer. So when I came back, I was a little bit bigger than that guy, but still intimidating nonetheless.
Absolutely.
He was in some I guess you'd call it a game. And I saw him in the hallway, and I walked up to him and I said, "Not this year. I will
Mm-mm.
take a butt
Good for
whooping
you.
before I do that again." But some people, they don't go through growth spurt, or they don't have that
They don't.
that want to stand up for themselves. And I get it. I totally get
Yeah,
it.
exactly. My brother ended up committing suicide.
Oh my gosh.
So I lost Frankie in 1985. This was before G.L.O.W, and
Mm.
he was 26. Yeah, he hung himself. So I know
Oh my
all
God.
about, yeah, I know all about suicide. And so anybody who ever feels like that, there's always help, and not so much back in the 80s as it is now. Now there's help everywhere. You call 1-800 suicide hotline. You can call, so just call a friend. There's got to be reach out places. My brother just kept everything inside. It was sad. So yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. So anybody out there, I know it's the holidays, it gets tough. A lot of people get sad, depressed, stay strong, but most importantly, reach out to somebody if you ever have those emotions. If you ever feel that, you just don't want to live anymore, because there's always a way out besides dying. You don't want to take your own life, and not to mention it just, that people say it's selfish because you leave your loved ones behind, which is true. It hurts, it hurts. Death hurts. But, sometimes people don't have a way out, and that's the only thing they know. But there is nowadays, there's many alternatives out there. There's so many avenues that you don't have to do that. So please, reach out to 1-800 suicide hotline, any 1-800 suicide. There's tons of, help out there. I wish there was more at this point in time, as we know, with all these shootings going on in our world, all these teenagers that are out there. I don't know what they're thinking, but we've had so many shootings. I cover so many. I'm like, what happened? Which one this week? What state? Because there's so many of these things going on. It's heartbreaking. So we need more mental illness counselors out there to help, because it's not the gun. It's not the gun's fault. It's the person behind the gun that shoots that gun. The gun's not going to shoot itself, people.
Nope.
So we got to realize that. And we just need more help for people out there. Yeah, who get to that point that feel they have to hurt other people and then themselves. So it's sad. Yeah. But yeah, back on a positive note. It's I got to get going here soon. But I do want to reach out and just say, everybody, please vote. Don't forget for the Fab 40. It's on Instagram and Facebook. Just go to the link and do free votes. If you can't do a hope vote, it does go to breast cancer, which is a great cause. I lost 2 sister-in-laws to breast cancer.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. So I'm a big advocate for breast cancer. So if you want to do a hope vote, just hit hope vote. If you can't afford that dollar, I get it. It's the holidays. Just do a free vote for me. I would so appreciate it. And I'm almost there to the win. And I'm so excited because I get to tell my story. Okay. And that story is going to be in New Beauty magazine. It's a 2-page story. And I finally get to put that out there to help many. Like I said, even if people read it and it helps a couple, I'm doing something. I hope to help many. And then it's for 40,000, which I want to take that and help and do advocacy for cancer. And then the Spotcation for Life in Arizona, or a Spotcation for Life, which I could definitely use too. But most importantly is getting my story out there, and then taking that money and funding, because we need all the funding we can get for cancers. So so thank you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a website?
I don't have a website. No, I just I attempted that. It was just too much, because I'm really hands-on on Facebook and Instagram. I like talking to my fans personally. I did have a Sunny, the California Girl fan page on Instagram. Just know it was hacked. That's not me. So it's gone now. Yeah, they managed to do a number there. It was heartbreaking. So I'm now just Patricia Summerland on Instagram, and I will eventually get Sunny, the California Girl back. They have it still, so it doesn't even come up. I deactivated the account, but they grabbed it, you know, before I deactivated it. It's sad. There's a lot of scammers out there, so everybody watch out for that too, because I don't get easily scammed. It was a good one how they do it now. It's voice activated. They used my girlfriend and they put her voice there, and I thought it was her, so that's why I went for it. But for this stupid investment, it was so dumb, so dumb. So don't do that either. Yeah, so you'll find me on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Always. Facebook, definitely. You can always find me on Facebook, but I'll post the link for the Fab 40 and you just click and vote away. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I appreciate all your support for sure.
Well, I'll make sure that some of these links get into the description of the video. So
okay,
make it easier for other people. Just click on it and go straight to it.
Yes, thank you, Kyle.
Well, Patricia, thank you so much for coming on and spending this time with me. I enjoyed listening to you.
Yes, absolutely. I enjoy listening to you too and your stories, you know, and keep it up. Keep everything good, you know, get that sugar regulated, and, you know, I can help you through it. I'm there if you need to talk. Absolutely. Because I know it's rough. I know that prednisone, I get that because I have to take that once in a while when I do my scans, and I blow up like, you know, because the steroids, it's just what it does, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather take that than Benadryl because I'm allergic to it. So they can't give me Benadryl. Yeah, I pass out, and, you know, it's really not good. So I have that weird type of system. So they just put me on steroid for it, for that green dye they shoot in your body. And I'm like, oh God, I'm sure I'm not allergic to it. Do we really have to do the prednisone? They're like, yes, you do. I'm like, darn it. I try to talk my way out of it. Doesn't work. So, but yeah, we got this, you know. Yeah, good definitely. Health and prosperity into 2023. Remember that. And smile, and then a hug always, and rock on, right?
Make at least one person smile a day. That's not too much to ask.
And listen to a Kiss song. Don't forget.
That's right.
Right.
Join the Kiss Army.
That's right. Join the Kiss Army forever. Yes. Thank you, Kyle. This has been awesome.
Yeah. And I also want to thank all of you out there. If you are new to the channel, you just happened by, I appreciate it, and I hope you'll come back. And for my regulars, I appreciate y'all because you make it possible for me to do this. So until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network